The outfield moves around to the right for him. And right fielder Tommy Holmes is right on the edge of the track out in right field. The pitch, outside, a fastball, ball one. Joe Paparella is the left field foul line umpire. Babe Finelli is right out short of the stands at the 320 mark in right. The windup, the pitch, foul ball on the ground down the first base line, and the count is 1-1. Johnny Cooney, Mel Harder, made a grab for it on the way out. And the groundskeeper out there with a unique windup fires it all the way back. He seemed to enjoy it, and so did the crowd. 1 ball, 1 strike. So far, no score in the game. Buck McCormick has the only hit, Doby the only walk. Here's the pitch to Judnick, high and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. The Cleveland scoreboard is every bit as impressive to watch as the Boston Braves. Bickford throws one. Strike called. A curveball backed Judnick out of the box, and he let it go. 2-2. It caught the inside corner. The right side of the infield is deep. On the left side, Dark and Elliott are in a bit. There's a curveball that was high, and the count is 3-2. Bickford pitching to right fielder Walt Judnick. Both Lou Boudreau and Billy Southworth subscribe in the main to the 2-platoon system of left and right-handers against right and left-handed pitching. 3-2 the count. Bickford winds up, and that's ball 4. Bickford started for the dugout thinking he had a strikeout, but that's the second base on balls he is given. Eddie Robinson is the batter. He did not start the series, but he got 1 hit in 3 trips yesterday. He has 1 out of 6. He did start the series. I'm sorry. I was referring to the playoff game when Clark was brought in for an experiment. Robinson is a left-handed batter. Strike called, curveball. Eddie got a hit yesterday. He has 1 hit in 6 trips. Doby is still the top hit producer with 3 out of 8. Judnick is being held very close at first base by Buck McCormick. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1-1. And Robinson steps out of the batter's box. In many ways, he reminds us of Hal Trosky, who played a lot of first base for the Cleveland Indians. The outfield deep to the right. Bickford takes his stretch. There goes a long foul ball. Deep into the right field stands, but fouled by a good 40 feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bill McKechnie is rubbing his hands reflectively down in the third base coaching box. Bickford seemed to be drying his right hand, wiping the moisture off. Now he has his sign. He's using a stretch with a runner on. Here's the pitch. There's a high fly ball going back of second base with McCormick, the left fielder, coming in fast, and he takes it in short left center field to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 base on balls, and 1 runner left. Going into the first half of the 3rd inning, the Boston Braves will send up Stanky, Bickford, and Holmes. So far, the fireworks haven't broken out in this series. Yesterday, Cleveland had a 2-run inning and 2 1-run innings. So far, with scores of 4-1 and 1-0, Cleveland has outscored the Braves 4-2, but the series stands even up. Here in the beautiful lakefront city of Cleveland, there seems to be a growing optimism that Cleveland is going to be able to take care of the Braves, but the Braves in no wise reflect discouragement. No score going into the 3rd. Now we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
This is WOR New York, the mutual station that brings you the World Series and other top sports events the year round.
Back at Cleveland Municipal Stadium, second baseman Eddie Stanky, the number 8 man in the Braves batting order, steps in. He has 1 hit in 4 trips, a double. Low inside, ball 1. Gene Bearden youthful left-hander with 20 victories pitching for Cleveland. Stanky has the only extra base wallop for the Braves in this series, and it came in yesterday's 9th inning. Bearden winds up, pitches, inside, ball 2, 2-0. Stanky is the holder of the American League record for the most bases on balls in a season. He set it while a member of the Brooklyn Dodgers. And for some reason, he seems to be very difficult as a target. 2-0. Here it comes. Strike called. Bearden fired it right down the middle, a fastball. Stanky made no move to go after it. Tommy Holmes is in the on-deck area, but the next batter is scheduled to be pitcher Vernon Bickford. 2-1. Here's the windup. Curveball called, strike 2, and nice one. Stanky let that one go, and the count now is even up, 2-2. Stanky has slowed down as a result of his injury. He'll need the rest that the offseason affords. Here's the windup. There's a drive that goes into right field for a base hit. Robinson very nearly speared it with his gloved hand as he made a reach for it. That is the second hit for the Braves, and Stanky's second hit in 5 trips in the series.
Number 24.
The other day, there were a few second guessers who wondered why Lou Boudreau ordered him put on base intentionally. Well, the double in the 9th inning yesterday and that single, plus his 315 batting average and his reputation as a clutch hitter, are a lot of good reasons. Plus percentage. The double play possibility, which was the real reason. Vernon Bickford, the pitcher, is a right-handed batter. This is his first appearance in the series. They're in looking for the bunt. It's a strike called. There was no play possible at first base because Eddie Robinson rushed the plate. So did Keltner. And with Boudreau going over to cover second base, Joe Gordon's mission was to cover first. The way a defensive infield sets itself against the possibility of a sacrifice is one of baseball's most intricate and interesting plays. 1 strike the count. Bickford is up forward in the batter's box, crowding the plate. And he's set to bunt, but that pitch took off high and wide, 1-1. Stanky is waiting his time, waiting for a chance to go to second safely. 1 ball, 1 strike. A high pitch is very hard to bunt. And, of course, a high fast one sometimes sets up a fourth. Sometimes a pop-up. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a bunt in front of the plate, and the throw to second, not in time. It's picked up by Hegan, and he delayed. He tagged him right down in front of the plate. Bickford is out. Then he tried to throw to second base. It would not have been a force, of course. Bickford did not realize he'd been called out and ran down to first base. And the first base umpire, Bill Grieve, just pointed back to home plate where Bill Stewart was still standing with his thumb in the air. It was a great play by Hegan, and it very nearly resulted in a double play, except that the throw to Boudreau was not in time for a tag. It is a sacrifice. Hegan unassisted. With 1 man out, Stanky on second. Tommy Holmes is the batter. He grounded to short last time. There's a slow roller back to the mound. Bearden has it. He turns, fires to first, and Holmes is out. Pitcher to first as Stanky goes to third. On the sacrifice and the subsequent infield out, Stanky is on third base. Again, incidentally, the Cleveland pitcher has a couple of assists. Lemon yesterday was close to the record, you'll recall. Al Dark, the shortstop, is the batter. He struck out his first time at bat. He has 1 hit and 9 trips in the series. Dark stands deep in the box, straight away. Outside, ball 1. The Braves have had 2 base runners. Cleveland has had 2 base runners, both of them via the base on balls route. The Braves have had 1 man on second base, and now Stanky has reached third. There's no score. 3rd inning. There's a drive that goes to right field. Judnick goes back, and he takes it at about the 300-foot mark. That ball was sharply hit. No runs. 1 hit for the Braves in the 3rd. No errors. 1 runner left. The score is 0-0. You heard Frankie Frisch, one of baseball's immortals, talk up the new Gillette dispenser when he was on the air earlier. Yes, and when you get acquainted with this handy shaving aid, you'll find he understated the facts. Men, the Gillette dispenser puts 20 Gillette blue blades, 40 shaving edges at your fingertips. Push with your thumb and zip. There's a blade unwrapped, ready for any Gillette razor. What's more, the shaving edges are perfectly protected at all times. They don't even touch the dispenser when blades are being ejected. Here's the handiest thing you ever used. Get a Gillette dispenser and enjoy extra convenience. You pay no premium, just 98 cents, the regular price of 20 Gillette blue blades. Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp. Use Gillette blue blades with the sharpest edges ever honed. In their 3 innings, the Braves have no runs, 2 hits. Neither team has made a misplay. The Braves have 2 runners left. And Cleveland will come up in the last half of the third with Jim Hegan, the catcher, coming up. Hegan made that great play. He has 1 hit in 6 trips. And he's one of the best-looking catchers the major leagues have produced in many a moon. He's a tall, husky right-hander. Vernon Bickford, a right-hander, delivers. And there's a high foul ball back of the plate. Bill Macy right down in front of us. Takes it. He took it about 2 feet short of the screen, directly back of home plate. A high foul pop-up. So Hegan fouled to the catcher, and Gene Bearden comes up. Bearden, incidentally, is one of the better hitting of the Cleveland pitchers. He had 2 home runs during the regular season's play, which is a rarity among baseball throwers. He had a batting average of .256, and he drove in 14 runs, which is exceptional for a pitcher. He's a big, good-looking left-hander. Here's the pitch. A curveball called strike 1. The outfield plays him slightly to the left. The weather is improving, by the way. The sun is trying mightily hard to break through. The windup. The pitch. High and fast inside. 1-1. The coaches for Cleveland are Mel Harder, the former pitcher, and Bill McKechnie at first and third. And it's brightening every moment. 1-1 the count. Here it comes. There goes a long drive to right field. Tommy Holmes is going deep for it. Can't get it. The ball bounces off the wall. There's the throw. It's cut off, and it's a double. That would have been a home run any time at Braves Field. Would have been long gone. Bearden is on second base. The ball went all the way out to the 380-foot mark in right field, by the way. Mitchell is up. That's the 3rd double for Cleveland in the series, and the 4th double of the series. Ball 1. A fastball thrown to Mitchell, who has 1 hit in 10 trips. He flied to left last time. That's Cleveland's 3rd double in the competition, and the 4th extra base hit of the series. And Bill Voiselle is warming up for the Braves. He's a right-hander. Infield in just a bit. Fastball inside, and the count is 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Holmes was playing in fairly close with Bearden up. Pitchers normally don't hit a ball that far. Doby, Boudreau, Bearden, and Stanky have all doubled. Low, ball 3, 3-0. This is the first threat for Cleveland, and it took Gene Bearden to get the first hit of the game. The first Cleveland hit. Three balls, no strikes. Strike called, a fastball just above the knees, and the count is 3-1. Mitchell just let that one go. Holmes is playing him deep in right field. Center fielder Knatzer is playing him in left center, but the infield is in a little. The pitch, ball 4. That's the 3rd base on balls given by Vernon Bickford, and Larry Doby, the owner of the first one, in the first inning comes up. Buck McCormick, the first baseman, comes over to give a pep talk to Vernon Bickford, and Phil Macy, the catcher, goes halfway out to the mound before returning. Bickford is a Virginian who, during his most recent pitching accomplishments of 1948, has been very impressive, but he has had a slight tendency at times to tire in the late stage. This, however, is the last of the third, and the Indians have runners on first and second with Doby up. 1 out. High, ball 1. That curveball was wide. After Doby walked in the first inning, manager Lou Boudreau whacked into a double play started by Al Dark. No score in the third inning of the third World Series game. The stretch by Bickford. The pitch. There's a ground ball that goes to Stanky. Stanky to Dark. That's one. Dark to first. And the throw goes into the dugout for Cleveland. And Bearden scores. It is an error for Dark. A fielder's choice, an error, and Cleveland leads 1-0. That was a tough break for Bickford because it was a natural double play ball. It was hit so hard to Stanky that even Doby could not have beaten the relay to first base. Mitchell probably hit Dark as he was ready to throw the ball, and Doby reached on a fielder's choice and went to second on an error, and Boudreau is up. Mitchell was out at second, 4-6, second to short. Boudreau, a right-hander. High, ball 1. An error on the throw. An error was charged to Al Dark. That's the 6th Braves error of the series, by the way. 1 ball, no strike. Outside, 2-0. Mitchell slid into Al Dark and was responsible for that ball going wide, and it went right into the Cleveland dugout. Cleveland leading 1-0. There's no runs batted in credit. The pitch. Ball 3. 3-0 on Boudreau. That was a much more made-to-order double play than the one in the first inning that Boudreau hit, because it was a hard one-bounce smash to Stanky, but it brought in a run. Cleveland leading 1-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Strike called. Bickford fired a fast one, and the count is 3-1. If you're scoring the game, Bearden was ruled to have gone to third on the fielder's choice, and then he was able to come in on the automatic error, a ground rule error, as it went into Cleveland's dugout. Here's the pitch. Ball 4, and that's the 4th base on balls given by Bickford. Runners on first and second, 2 Cleveland outs, and Joe Gordon up. Joe flied to left field his last time, a high fly ball. It's too early, by the way, to determine whether or not that was an earned run, because the Braves haven't yet had an opportunity to record the third out. But if Gordon were to go out, it would be scored unearned, and it would be the third unearned run of the series. Gordon has 2 out of 9. There's a high fly ball to short left field. Mike McCormick coming in on the double. He's under it, and he takes it for the third out, and the run is unearned. 1 run for Cleveland on 1 hit, Bearden's double, and he scored the initial tally himself. 1 costly Boston error, a base on balls, 2 bases on balls, the third and fourth, and 2 runners left. So at the end of 3 innings of play, the Cleveland totals: 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 3 men left. For the Braves, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 men left. And the Braves have so far made 6 errors in the series. Boston has made a total of 2 runs. And prior to this game, the Braves had a total of 10 hits. And they also had a total of 5 errors. Getting ready to bat for Boston will be left fielder Mike McCormick. Mike has been busy so far in this game. He has 4 putouts in left field. And neither Tommy Holmes, the right fielder, nor center fielder Clint Knatzer has had any. Mike McCormick has 2 hits in 7 trips in the series. He got both hits yesterday, by the way. The crowd is very much attracted by the arrival of Bob Hope, who is one of the Cleveland owners. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Cleveland 1. Boston Braves nothing. And this is the 4th inning. The outfield is set to the left. McCormick stands almost straight away. His stance tends to be a little on the closed side, fairly deep in the box. Bearden winds up, throws a curveball, and he swings and misses. 1-1. Mike struck out his first time at bat. Third baseman Ken Keltner is playing about 15 feet inside the third base line. The outfield is to the left. The pitch. There's a drive to center field for McCormick's 3rd hit of the series and the 3rd Braves hit of the game. A single just to the left of second base on a line out into center field. That was Mike's 2nd look at Bearden. Bob Elliott will come up. Elliott has had only 1 hit in 8 trips in this series, but the hitting has not been omnipresent in a series like this. It's been pitching. The emphasis has been on defense. Cleveland leads 1-0. Right fielder Walt Judnick moves over toward right center field a bit. Elliott sets himself, and he hits a fly ball back of second base. Doby coming in fast after it. He's under it, and he takes it. Gordon went out after it. Boudreau didn't, but Doby, who has all the speed in the world, came in to make the catch easily. That's his first put out, and Buck McCormick comes up. He's the Braves' first baseman, bats number 5 in the batting order, and has 1 hit in 2 trips in the series, and he singled to get it in the 2nd inning of this game. And by now, the danger of any further rain seems to have dissipated. It looks like it's going to be a good afternoon. Bearden takes his stretch, and then Elliott calls time. And umpire Bill Stewart responds quickly. He had something in his eye, or rather McCormick had something in his eye, and he stepped out. And now he asks the umpire, George Barr, at second, will he move a little? Because apparently that pitch was coming up out of Barr's white shirt. What little of it shows. 1 man out. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball back to Bearden. Bearden throws to Gordon. Gordon fires to first for a double play. 1-4-3. Bearden to Gordon to Robinson, double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left. Gordon had to stab for the bag. There was a little doubt as to who'd cover that time. So at the end of 3.5 innings of play, the score is Cleveland 1, Boston nothing. You know Gillette broadcast the series to tell you, for instance, about the modern Gillette Super Speed Razor. But you say you have a Gillette razor. Why buy another? Men, Gillette makes its money on blades, not razors. We want you to get the improved Gillette Super Speed Razor practically at cost, so you'll enjoy utmost shaving comfort and convenience with Gillette Blue blades. That's something you can't do without a modern, improved Gillette one-piece razor. This razor has a notched positioning bar for use with the Gillette dispenser. Hook on a blade, twist, and you're ready to go. Convenient? Not only that, but much easier shaving than you can imagine. What's more, this razor can't jam, can't clog, and you don't need a locksmith to make it work. Get a Gillette Super Speed Razor with a 10-blade Gillette dispenser. It's a big $1.50 value for only $1. Cleveland very nearly messed up that double play. It's the 3rd for them in the series. But for an instant, neither Boudreau nor Gordon started to cover. Keltner is up. And the first pitch from Bickford is low and outside for ball 1. Keltner grounded out to first baseman Buck McCormick unassisted, his last time at bat. Cleveland had 2 double plays yesterday. Outside, 2-0. Cleveland has a 1-0 lead, despite the fact the Indians have been out-hit by the Braves. 3-1. Bearden has been very effective. The pitch, and that's outside. Keltner was all set to swing and decided to let that fast one go. It's 3-0. And again, Billy Southworth has given the wag sign to the bullpen, and Bill Voiselle starts warming up. He's a big right-hander, the ex-Giant. The windup, Bickford pitches. Ball 4. That's the 5th base on balls Bickford has given in 3 full innings. He's been wild, but he has been effective. Had there been perfect support, we'd be watching a 0-0 baseball game. But Cleveland cashed in the break. In the first game, it was the Braves who cashed in the break. And yesterday, break or not, Lemon was too good. Walt Judnick, the right fielder, is the batter. He got the second base on balls his first time up. He has no hits in 4 World Series trips. And he's a left-hander. Strike called, a curveball that curved over the outside corner. Walter is wearing a turtleneck sweater, as is Bill McKechnie, and as are some of the other Indians. The outfield is deep to the right. Tommy Holmes in right field is out on the track at the 300-foot mark. The pitch, fastball high, 1-1. They played Judnick as a pull hitter. One ball, one strike. This is the last of the 4th, with Cleveland leading the Braves in the 3rd game of the World Series, 1-0. Here it comes. There's a high foul ball that is going out of play. Back into the stands, about 20 feet beyond Macy's reach, to the right of the screen, back of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Center fielder Clint Knatzer apparently has been waved over even more deeply into right center field. And he's stationed at about the 350-foot mark. About 30 feet short of the 380-foot sign. Bickford takes a stretch. Keltner leads off first. Strike 3, swinging. That was a curveball that seemed to take off. It had a liveness about it. And that's the first strikeout for Bickford. 1 man out. First baseman Eddie Robinson comes up. He flied out to left field his first time at bat. He has 1 hit in 7 trips. Bickford comes from New Canton, Virginia. A right-hander. He pitches, and there's a drive to left field for a base hit. And it is held to a single with Keltner stopping at second as a result of alert fielding by left fielder Mike McCormick. 3 of the Braves went over to back up at third base. That was hit on a line, and it gives Robinson 2 out of 8 for the series. That is the 2nd Cleveland hit. Jim Hegan, the Cleveland catcher, comes up. He has 1 hit in 7 trips. His first time up in this game, he fouled out to the catcher. The outfield moves around to the left a bit. Voiselle continues to bear down, warming up. Here's the pitch. There's a drive that goes to center for a base hit. Knatzer fields it on the second hop. Here's the throw to third, and it's 2-0 in favor of Cleveland. Keltner had no trouble sprinting all the way to the plate. And rather than throw to the plate and give Robinson an opportunity to go all the way to third base, Knatzer threw to third base. So they're runners on first and second. Hegan has driven in a run. The 2nd Cleveland run of the game, the 6th Cleveland run of the series. The Indians lead 2-0, and Gene Bearden comes up. The infield is in a little on the left side. Bearden doubled and scored a run his last time at bat. There's still just 1 man out. There's a drive that goes to left field, base hit, and here comes the throw to the plate, and the bases are loaded. The bases are loaded as Robinson made no attempt to score, and that appears to be all for Vernon Bickford. Billy Southworth is coming out of that slow walk of his, which is an invariable sign that he intends to remove his pitcher, and the reliever, when he comes in, will probably be Big Bill Voiselle. Loisel now lives in Mustang, Oklahoma, but he was born in 96 South Carolina. That's his batting average, too, by the way. He enjoys having that mentioned. And he wears the uniform numeral 96. He's being called in. To recapitulate this inning, Keltner started off with a 5th base on balls. That, in a sense, was Bickford's undoing. Then Vernon struck out Judnick, but Robinson singled Keltner to second. Hegan scored Keltner, sending Robinson to second, and then Bearden banged the first one on a line into left field for his second hit of the game.